We're all looking for it, right? Peace. But we live in a world that's constantly yelling at us to get more, achieve more, be more. So what if the real answer lies in giving? We're going to dive into the extraordinary life of Pramukh Swami Maharaj and see what his journey can teach us about our own.
So just for a second, think about your own life. You work hard, you try to be successful, you build things, but does all that stuff bring you that deep, unshakable sense of contentment? You know, the one we're all really looking for?
And look, this question is not new. Not by a long shot. There's this ancient Indian story where a great sage offers his wife, Maitreyi, everything he owns, all of it. But she doesn't ask if it'll make her happy. She asks something way deeper. Would all that wealth give her ultimate peace, freedom from fear?
And the sage's answer? A simple, straight-up no. He tells her that all this stuff, it's temporary. It can't buy that lasting peace we all crave. So if the answer isn't out there in the world of things, then where is it? Well, let's look at a life that might just hold the key.
And that brings us to the life of Pramukh Swami Maharaj. His journey offers a totally different path. See, he was a global spiritual leader, but his life wasn't defined by what he had, it was defined by what he gave.
So the first big thing to understand about him is this idea of selfless service. And I mean, this wasn't some nice philosophy he just talked about. No, it was literally the air he breathed, every single day.
I mean, just look at this schedule. This was a normal day for him. Just perpetual motion, always traveling, with almost zero thought for his own comfort or rest. His one and only priority? Being with people, serving them any way he possibly could.
This right here, this was his mantra, the thing that drove him. For him, service wasn't some chore, it wasn't a duty, it was the source of his own joy. He actually genuinely found his own happiness by making other people happy.
Okay, but here's what makes all of this just mind-blowing. He was doing all of this while dealing with incredible, constant physical pain.
He suffered in silence for years. And when he finally got checked out by a top surgeon in the US, what the doctor found was so shocking, he couldn't even describe it in normal medical terms. He had to use this powerful and honestly kind of terrifying metaphor.
You are not sitting on a chair. You are sitting on a volcano. Wow. Can you imagine hearing that? His body was in a constant state of crisis, basically on the verge of erupting. And yet, he just carried on with that insane schedule like everything was perfectly fine.
Think about it. Major heart bypass surgery in '98. Did he slow down? Not a chance. He was right back out there, traveling the world, guiding thousands, running huge projects, all while dealing with this constant, severe pain that most of us can't even imagine.
So you have to ask, right? How is that even possible? It's because his focus was never on himself, on his own pain. It was always pointing outwards, towards his purpose, serving others. That inner peace, it was so strong, it literally allowed him to rise above the physical suffering. All right, so the next piece of this puzzle is his humility. And it's just incredible. He was the head of this massive global organization. He could have been a commander, a CEO, whatever, but he always consistently chose to be a servant.
Let me tell you a quick story that just says it all. Picture this, huge festival, thousands of people. A young guy, a volunteer, is in charge of making literally thousands of these sweet treats, and he messes up, big time. The whole batch is ruined, total panic.
So word gets back to Pramukh Swami Maharaj. And what does he do? Without missing a beat, he stands up in front of everybody and says this. He took all the blame. And in that one moment, he did more than just save this kid from embarrassment. He taught a masterclass in leadership to everyone there.
See, that is what real leadership looks like. It's not about power or pointing fingers. It's about having compassion. It's about taking responsibility. And it's about protecting the people you lead. That right there, that's humility in action.
So you put all that together, the service, the endurance, the humility, and what do you get? You get a legacy that is just immense, something that has touched millions of lives all over the world.
Just try to wrap your head around this number. When he passed away, 750,000 people came to pay their last respects. That's not just a statistic. Each one of those people felt like he knew them personally, like he cared about them.
You know, Arun Tiwari, who worked closely with one of India's presidents, I think he said it best. He said Pramukh Swami Maharaj had this
almost magical gift for seeing the good in people, and maybe even more important, helping them see it in themselves. And his legacy, I mean, you can literally see it. It's in the 1,000+ cultural centers built around the globe. You see it in the thousands of smart, educated young people who chose a life of service because of him. And you see it in the millions of lives he touched one-on-one, guiding them through their toughest times.
So let's circle all the way back to where we started, that big question about peace. His life seems to give us a pretty clear answer, doesn't it? Real peace isn't some destination you arrive at. It's a byproduct. It's what finds you when you spend your life focused on others.
And that really leaves us with something to think about for our own lives. We're all told to go out and seek greatness. But what if the real path, the true path, isn't about what we can get, but what we can give? What if the greatest journey we could ever take is the one that leads us to serve?